Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time. It is sponsored by Fanduel. That music means it is time to go. Joined, as always, by usually two of the sharpest minds in the biz. Tonight, he's so good, he doesn't need a cohort. He doesn't need a partner. We got the chief in the house. What up, bud?
Nothing much, man. Listen, bear with me, folks. I'm a little under the weather. I am going to be fully engaged. You can probably hear I'm a little stuffy. This came out of nowhere, too. I mean, I was doing fine, and then all of a sudden, I was stuffy. I took some sinus meds and or Mucinex rather. So hopefully, this thing will clear up quickly because I will have the girls this weekend, and so they don't, they don't want to sit dad. They want to run around and play and do fun things. So,
Right.
Got to get over this quickly. And not only that, got to help people make some money tonight. So, this should be an interesting slate nonetheless.
Yeah, you got to Jordan flu game it for us. You got to fight through it and come out here and deliver no matter what. You do sound rough. So we appreciate you being on here because I know it's a weird slate. It's a small slate. It's 3 games. It's the last slate before the All-Star break. So I understand, maybe our viewership not usually as high as it is. But nevertheless, I see people in the chat already firing in some questions. Of course, we're going to get to all of your questions a little bit later in the show. First, we're going to talk some Fanduel. We're going to talk some DK, and then we're going to answer all those questions. Speaking of Fanduel, should probably point out the show is sponsored by Fanduel. Sign up for the Fanduel Sportsbook if you're in a legal sports betting state. Take advantage of their awesome bonus offer. New customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1K. Terms and conditions do apply for that. And then the Fanduel Single Entry Series, sponsored by RotoGrinders, that is back as well. Reserve your spot in the Thursday NBA Block Contest, $10 to enter. Your chance at 1.5K. I did a little crushing on the FanDuel Sportsbook when I was in Nashville. So I know there is money to be made, and hopefully we can make it tonight.
Yes,
Chief, you want to give us an overview of this slate? Like I said, it's starting a little late. We got 3 games, but is there something here?
Yeah, I think there is. And honestly, I think I've been on crunch time every day this week. So this has been a fantastic experience to go off into the sunset here for the All-Star break. But last night I talked about putting together game stacks. And I think if you stack the Charlotte game some, I think you are able to pick up on some of that goodness. It didn't work in every game. But when you've got the All-Star break coming up, sometimes I don't know which teams or which players are going to rest or how the coaches are going to coach it. So I just kind of like to go with, bad teams, no defense, and roll it from there. Tonight, though, on this particular slate, there's one big stud and one big stud only, at least on FanDuel anyway, which is what we're talking about right now. That's Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I just in cash games, he's a lock button. And I know we're just talking general overview right now, but Giannis is the lock button of all lock buttons, I think. I don't think we need to be trying to figure out how to make lineups without him tonight. It's just he's the one guy that could literally destroy your night before it gets started with one of the first games. So while I don't mind taking tournament risk and fading some of these guys like this from time to time, tonight is just not that night.
Yeah, and we've seen nights where, we talk about Giannis and that team, Milwaukee's so dominant, where we're like, okay, maybe we're worried that they're going to blow the team out. And every time I feel like we say that, A, the game ends up being close because you can't predict blowouts. And B, he can still just drop ridiculous points in a blowout. I mean, in 27, 28 minutes, the guy can absolutely put in work. So with no other studs, I think I understand where you're coming from there. Why don't you kind of walk us through just a cash build on FanDuel and then talk some tournament pivots as well, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I think if we hit the Noto did the core plays today, and I mean I think he's pretty much spot on. If you click that core plays button, you're going to see pretty much a lot of guys showing up from this game. You've got Giannis, you've got Vooch, you've got Ayo, you've got Kobe White, you've got Grayson Allen. I think these are all good spots. Now, Grayson Allen typically probably wouldn't show up in this. But with no Chris Middleton tonight, him at 3,900 is a great value on this slate. So, while I would love to, maybe add a few, and maybe I'll add one more person in there, I think from a core plays perspective, this is definitely the way you need to build tonight. These are going to be some of the best plays out there. Now, I will say, in terms of cash games generally, I do think Drew Holiday is in consideration as well at 7,500. So just because no Chris Middleton, once again, it's going to benefit him as well. So it's looking like, as you can see, this game seems to be the game to get most of your cash exposure from. And I think that's the right call.
Okay. Can you run through some of the other positions? Like, let's say, in theory, you're locking in those 5 guys in cash, but it's, at all of these positions except for center, you still need another dude. Can you kind of walk through maybe some other options at point, at shooting guard, at forward, et cetera, as we run through it?
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to build it live. So I am plugging these guys in right now. So just give me a second here.
Yeah. And I'm also, while you're doing that, I'm interested in your tournament brain saying, okay, if literally everybody or just about everybody's plugging in these 5 guys and stacking this game, is there another game that maybe you're interested in stacking that's going to come in way lower ownership and still has some
tournaments. I got you. We're going to have a great time with tournaments. So when it comes to FanDuel, I'm going to start with FanDuel, then we'll work out with the DraftKings.
Yep.
It depends on kind of how you want to run Grayson Allen, Ayo, and Kobe White, because you could double punt point guard, which essentially might not be a bad idea tonight, because point guard, they've got some guys like I think you still want to play Drew Holiday here, so maybe you don't do it that way. Maybe you move one of these guys to small forward. Like, you can move Grayson Allen. He'll probably come out better in the small forward spot with Giannis tonight, just because Giannis is going to be your big spin. And then at point guard, you could plug in, like I said, a guy like Drew Holiday, 8K, or something like that. Or you could double punt it. Either way, I think you're going to be fine just because of the spot. At shooting guard, I still think Devin Booker is overpriced, like for cash games. I think Bradley Beal is a little bit overpriced. I think Zach LaVine is in the mix. And I know he's not tagged per se, but with no DeRozan, we saw last night he went off for 60 fantasy points. He's going to be shooting the ball from all over the place. Yeah. And as we've seen earlier this week, Milwaukee played probably one of the most depleted Boston teams you're ever going to get all season. And the thing went overtime.
Right. It was a game. Yeah.
That should not have happened. But it did in this particular case. I'm not expecting a blowout just because the Bulls do have 2 guys that can get there. And I do like LaVine. I think LaVine has tremendous upside here tonight. And if you're following along, if you don't go Drew and you double punt with Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu, if you go that route and then you plug in Zach LaVine instead of playing Drew Holiday, example, then right now you're left with 56, 67, and we've still got a small forward spot or another small forward spot that we can use if we double punt point guard with White, Dosunmu, and then run Allen LaVine at the shooting guard spot. So in terms of, I'm going to skip to power forward this time. I'll come back to small forward. In terms of power forward, you've got a plethora of options. You could play Giannis there as well. It gets really yucky down here today, but I think, and look, it's going to be another Bull. I think you're playing Patrick Williams, and it sucks. I don't want to play this many Bulls, but I think you go ahead and plug Patrick Williams in. It's going to open up a little bit more salary. Yeah, that gives you 4 or 5 Bulls. You got to get rid of one. So maybe we don't play LaVine and we just play Drew instead. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I think we work this slate. Play Drew over LaVine. Or if you're going to play LaVine, then you're getting rid of Kobe White or Dosunmu. But I think Patrick Williams may be a necessary evil, if you will, because it's a small slate. You got to get some exposure from somewhere. So that's kind of how I would approach it. at small forward, you've got several options. A lot of them are, or a fair amount of them are shooting guard, small forward eligible. Like you've got, hear what I'm saying out loud? You've got Jaden McDaniels who's going to play some minutes. You got Josh Okogie who's going to play some minutes. You've got Marcus Morris from the Clippers who's going to play some minutes. And those are the guys you're looking at because it's just a lack of really good talent tonight. So you just kind of really, I think it's forward is just a last man in scenario. Whoever fits, you plug them in, you let it ride.
Okay. I did get a few questions, and this is probably more tournament style, but already a few people talking about Drummond. Is that more of a DK play? Is that Fanduel, or is that just tournaments? If you want to throw them in.
Yeah, that's straight tournaments for sure. I don't think you're playing Drummond unless you get up to 150. Like I wouldn't be rolling him out in a single entry lineup, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
If I'm playing 150 though, I'm definitely getting some exposure to Drummond tonight on a small slate. Even if he puts up 28 fantasy points, that might be enough to carry you to the finish line.
Okay, and then while we kind of pivot over to DK, let's talk tournament thoughts in general here. We mentioned, people are playing 5-6 guys in this Milwaukee-Chicago game as just a cash build. So where are you looking to get different in tournaments?
So in tournaments, I love Washington, Minnesota. I like Porzingis tonight. I like Mike Conley tonight. I like what's the guy's name? I was about to call him Michael Jordan because there's this picture. Anthony Edwards. I don't mind Anthony Edwards. Once again, I think these are players that I like, and I think you still build around Giannis. So let me make that very clear. I don't think Giannis is a fade at all tonight. I think you're still getting in Giannis, and then we're figuring out ways to make this work. So, for instance, we've got all these cheap guys. I still want to play Kristaps Porzingis here, right? Like he's a guy that I really like tonight. He's 9,100. It's not going to feel great, but you've got enough room if you wiggle some things around. So, like if you can still play one of Kobe White or DeSumo. You can still play Grayson Allen. You can still play Levine or Drew Holiday, or you can come off of that and find you another kind of mid-range guy. But maybe you play Paul George in tournaments at 8,600. Things of that nature. But I do like Kristaps Porzingis a ton. I think he has a really good game against the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight.
Okay, very good. I think we can kick it over to DK now. And if you don't mind, just kind of starting fresh, walking us through your favorite plays on DK, your tags, and all that.
Yeah, DK is going to be similar. Like the tags are the same. So you don't have to worry about it. It's pretty plug and play just because of the nature of the slate. Now, where it gets different is the difference between Drew Holiday and Zach LaVine on DK. So Drew Holiday is 7,500 on DK, and Zach LaVine is 8,700. Like Drew Holiday goes in automatically. Like I think that's the way you need to approach it. Plug him in right away. So if you're even in cash games, I think that's the way you need to approach it. You're getting in DeSumo, White, Giannis, Vooch, Allen, Holiday. You still got 4,100 left, and we can make some things work. We can plug and play a cheap guy here, cheap guy there. But I think that's the way to get it done. Also, let's say you don't want to play Drew. I don't mind Mike Conley in cash on DK at 5,200. So let's say you say, well, Will, this I don't feel great about it. Okay, no problem. Plug in Mike Conley. I definitely think he's a guy that you could get exposure to. So yeah, that's I think you can kind of work your cash games that way as well. And then maybe you upgrade a spot, another forward spot or something like that by playing Conley.
Okay. I've got questions specifically at center here, but do you want to walk through a build, or do you just feel like you've already accomplished that and you'd rather just kind of take some questions?
Yeah, I think so. The build is the same almost on DK. You're just going to plug those, say, Ayo, Kobe White, Giannis, Vooch, Allen, and then from there, it's who else do you want to play? Do you want to play Conley? Do you want to play Drew? Do you want to throw in Joe Ingles at 3,400? Like, how do you kind of want to build it? Do you want to play Josh Okogie? Like, I think it's fluid from there. But those 5 guys, I definitely think you should be playing them.
All right, I was looking at the center tags, and I saw, look, we got Vooch tagged as a core play, but then also Gobert had a bunch of little tags by him. Is this double center night? Is that a potential play?
Yeah, definitely. At 6,200, he's probably a little bit too cheap. Now, I'm not a Rudy Gobert truther, so I'm of the mindset that I can get away without playing him. I'd probably just play Brook Lopez as well. But once again, that's getting so much exposure to that Chicago-Milwaukee game. And I understand realistically you want to break that up some. But I'm not a Rudy Gobert guy. Projection on him looks great. And I think he'll be fine. But he's not like my top play.
I get you. All right. Any other names that you want to bring up? Because if not, we can start diving into these QQs. We still have like 12 minutes until lock here.
Yeah, so it looks like I did see in the YouTube chat, I think someone mentioned Terrence Mann, and I think they were saying he should be locked in with Powell out. Even on a small slate, I'm not locking in Terrence Mann. The Clippers are a weird team. Mm-hmm. He could easily go out there and do nothing, and they get down or up, and then he play. Like Coach Lou does very weird things with this rotation. I'm willing to just not even worry about Terrence Mann and take the guys that I feel like are going to play minutes for sure.
Okay. Still a fine tournament play, but not something you're calling a lock play.
I'm not playing him in cash at all.
Yeah, I get you. All right. I'm going to scroll up here. Get those QQs in, guys. We've got 11 minutes until lock, and I fear our questions may be running a little short of that. So let's see what we got here. Matt says, how about Okaji in a DKGPP? Any interest there?
Yep, don't hate it.
Very good. Steven pointing out, how about Kuz over Zinger? In fact, he didn't say how about it. He just straight up said it. He says Kuz over Zinger. You got any Kuz interest? I know you like Zinger.
Yeah, I don't hate Kuz, but I'm taking Porzingis straight up over Kuzma tonight. But I get it. The game environment is great.
Okay. Carolina guy says, hey, Chief, great call yesterday, bud. I don't know which of your many calls yesterday he was referring to, but maybe all of them. Great call.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good job. I also cashed yesterday, so good work. You helped me out there. Fanduel cash, a little 2v2 for you here. Zinger and your boy J-Rue or Gobert and Edwards?
Oh, man. Give me Zinger and Drew.
Okay. Mike says, in a FanDuel GPP, is fading a super chalky Levine a viable play?
Yeah, I don't hate that. Raw points are still going to matter. So, I mean, if the thing about Levine is if this game is close, he's going to be a big part of it because DeRozan's not playing. So he's going to take 20-plus shots tonight, I think. I understand it, though. So I personally wouldn't do it. But I get it because he could go cold and he's got to score a lot of points.
Yeah. All right. Rodney Brown says, what are the most bulls you would run in a FanDuel tournament?
Tournament? Well, I'd probably go to max. I'd probably go 4.
Yeah. All right.
And can I clarify something on that, Ron?
Please. Yeah.
I think if you're running 4, there's some – I think Vooch goes in no matter what. Then there's some flip-flop of Patrick Williams, Levine, Ayo, and Cole. Like there's some concoction of that. One of those goes in, one of those goes out. But Vooch goes in for sure.
Okay, great. Michael says, do you like Bones Highland in a DKGPP? What is his role, right? He got traded. I don't even know where he's at or what he's doing.
He's 3,700. I mean, he's playing I think he's with the Clippers. It's okay. He's probably going to play for 20 minutes. I don't hate it, but I'm not rushing to do it if that makes sense.
Yeah, but with Powell out, maybe he gets a little more run. I don't know if that's related at all.
I don't let the Clippers trick me with this. But the Clippers are a bamboozle team. You think they're going to do something, and they do something totally different, and you're stuck. So, yeah, I'm not worried about the Clippers.
Okay. Let's see. Marisha Keaton says, any interest in my boy CP3 in a single entry tournament on FanDuel? I feel like I want to play that guy every night. I don't know. I just have this mental construction of him. Like when I see him priced at 7K or whatever, I play him. I don't know what he's at, but any interest?
Yeah, I mean, see, he's 8,500. I think it's a pass. Drew Holiday or Levine to me is going to be a much better play than he is.
All right. Hang on. More questions. I got to scroll up just a wee bit. Good job getting those questions in. Knights Production says Jingle and Joe Ingles or Allen. He did not specify a site nor a format. Try to remember to do that for us. It makes it easier.
My assumption is it's going to be DK because they're a little bit closer in price. I'm going to go with Allen still.
Very good. All right. FanDuel single entry, your very favorite value play. He did not specify a position or anything else, just your favorite value play.
It's probably one of Ayo or Kobe White.
Okay. FanDuel GPP.
But, yeah.
Yeah. What about Zubats at center, saving some money for some other spots?
Well, if you're doing that, like what other? I think the question is, what other studs are you paying up for? In my opinion, if you're doing that, you're going to play Drew and Levine because I don't trust the Clippers. I don't trust the Clippers. I don't know what Phoenix is going to do. So I think if you're doing that, that's why you're doing it.
Okay. Can you play Ayo and White together in a DK GPP, or is that too much chalk?
Nope. I think you can do it.
Very good. Any love for Ayton in a FanDuel single entry?
I don't hate it, but he's 9K. He's 9K. That's getting up there. I play Vooch.
Okay. Let's see. Prince or Craig on DK from Conscious Machine in the YouTube chat.
Craig.
By the way, if you're watching on YouTube and you're seeing this man straight struggling on the final night before the All-Star break, sick and still giving the content, all he asks is that you hit that little thumbs up. I'm speaking for him because he's not feeling good enough to speak for himself. All he wants is that little thumbs up. That's all we want here. Take a sip, take a second, collect yourself. More questions coming in your way. Ron says, is Javon Carter viable in a DK GPP?
Oh, man. That feels thin to me. If you think he's going to play 20 minutes, like, you know what? It's a 3-game slate. What the heck? Throw him in.
Okay.
But not a single entry.
Right. All right. Let's see. With Powell out, and we kind of talked about this, Shannon says the Powell out on the Clippers is another cheap bench Clipper worth a gamble. And the answer is like, probably, but we don't exactly know who.
So listen, you've got Mason Plumlee, Eric Gordon, Bones Highland, Nicholas Batum, Covington, Coffee. Like, they've got so many guys, man. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing something that's talking about Holiday not starting. Is that a problem? And I don't see anything about him not starting. Now, if he's not starting, that's a big problem.
But Javon Carter is starting. I don't know. That's just a note.
Oh no! Oh boy! This is the stuff right here, Roth, where you're looking. So now I'm trying to look for the news.
No, here we go. Lineup alert. Bucks are starting Holiday, Carter, Allen, Giannis, and Lopez.
Okay, so yeah, Javon Carter is in business. He's in business. Yep.
All right, very good. And Holiday is starting, so no big concerns there. Hammer, by the way, I like this. I might have to steal this tagline. Hit the like or take a hike. That's a good tagline right there. I'm going to start working that in.
Hammer. Excuse me, guys. I know I keep sniffling here.
Dreadpool says, any love for Dalen Terry with all Chicago guards out, or is that too deep? Who the hell is Dalen Terry? I've literally never heard that name in my life.
Yep, random guy. I don't think he's going to play that much. The only way he plays is if this game blows out. So both teams are a little shorthanded. Both teams still have two of their primary scorers. So I'm not worried about it.
Okay, let's get back to the Carter starting news real fast. Is this now someone who you're interested in cash? Is this someone you're locking in GPPs? Like, where does that value kind of come into the equation?
See, now it feels like the cash games have just completely built themselves. With you probably need to be playing Giannis, Carter, Allen, Vooch, Ayo or Kobe White. Like the cash game has pretty much built itself now. Like
all of those dudes.
That's
you just named like built. You named 6 dudes, and you think in cash you play all those dudes, right?
Yeah. That's where I think you're headed.
So who is Carter starting over?
Chris Middleton, which not necessarily because Chris Middleton hasn't necessarily been starting, but I thought Middleton was going to possibly start tonight. But yeah, so get him in. I think maybe they thought Beauchamp was going to start, but yeah, definitely get him in your lineups.
So I did. Hang on. I don't know if I just went away. Sorry, I clicked a button, but I'm back. I did see a question about Beauchamp. God, I keep hitting a button that closes you out. I did see a question about Beauchamp earlier. Any interest in him as a tournament dart?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think we assumed he was going to start, and he's not. Carter's starting, so there you have it.
Okay, very good. All right, jumping back into the RG Discord. Less than 2 minutes until lock. Good job working through this here. Jep says DKGPP Lopez or my boy Gobbert.
On DK, right?
Yes, DKGPP.
Oh man, they're about the same price, about the same. Give me Lopez.
Okay. Yeah, Steve O says, sorry, this was a question from Achilles. DK Cash. It is a 3v3 for you. Brolo, McDaniels, and Ingles, or Drew, Beauchamp, and Prince.
Number 1.
Very good. Carolina guy says P. Williams or T. Prince. FanDuel single entry.
Williams.
All right. Getting a few questions coming in. Conley v. Gafford, raw points.
Give me Conley.
Very nice. Less than a minute here until lock. Terry says, hail to the chief. And we like that.
What's
we
up, Terry?
That. I agree with that take. I'm going to scroll up just a wee bit, see if I missed anything here. Okay, Ronnie Coe says, I got 9,400 left on DK. Gobert Prince, and then if Gobert is out, go Reed Conley?
God, I think you reworked that one. I don't like either of those, personally.
All right, that's fair. All right, with that, waiting to see if any more QQs come in here on the deadline. Mike says, hey, we love you guys. We will miss you, miss the NBA crunch time during the break, and we will miss you guys as well. Is there other sports? What do we got to lean into?
Well,
golf?
I mean, look, prize picks. I mean, we got golf going, we got soccer going, we've got LOL going, we've got Valorant going, we've got CS:GO going, we've got hockey. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to stop. Really, what happens, Raw, if you don't know, when the NBA break or when the All-Star break comes in, all the NHL hockey contests, they increase the prize pools because they know everybody's going to flock to hockey like a degenerate. And typically, I win a few dollars for hockey. So there you have it.
Very good. Of course, at RotoGrinders, we've got you covered on every sport going in the world. And I was talking with our scores and odds team, and they're getting a lot of content in for college basketball now because, again, you're losing your main source of basketball. So everybody's kind of flocking towards the college streets. So make sure you're checking us out on scores and odds. It is all the experts that you know and love from RotoGrinders doing some sports betting content as well. And I assure you, we have some very good analysts in that vein. Hoosiers Hang Banners says, and this will be our final topic before we bounce because it's locked. The dunk contest doesn't look very interesting. There's one dude. There's only one dude I know, Mac McClung, right?
Yeah, hot take. The 3-point contest has been the main attraction for about 5 or 6 years now. Actually, I watch that, and sometimes I don't even watch the dunk contest. Isn't that crazy?
It's amazing to think where we were when you and I were in high school, or at least I was, and we were watching Vince Carter do things that just made your brain melt. and you thought this is the greatest thing in sports. The dunk contest is the best thing in sports. And then from that day on, it is just like steadily
we had some good Josh Richardson ones. Josh Richardson had some good ones. Yeah. Is it Josh Richardson? I hope I'm getting this right. He played for the Warriors. I think it was Josh Richardson.
I mean, there's been some good dunks, but it's no longer like must-see TV like it used to be. And I'm with you. Like now I'd rather watch the 3-point contest.
Yeah. And Levine Gordon was the other one. But that's it. Like outside of those two, I don't know. Yeah. And honestly, I think Gordon should have won, man. When he caught the ball off the out of the hand of the mascot, like I thought the dunk contest was over. I said, "Oh, this is amazing."
Over the hand of the mascot. It was it James Richardson? Some people saying, but he went over the hand of the mascot and then like beneath both of his knees, right? Or like underneath his body and like brought it around. It was that was ridiculous. That was crazy.
Insane.
Jason Richardson, I don't know. We got all kinds of anyways.
Jason Richardson. Yeah, that's who it was. Jason Richardson. That's it.
Yeah. All right.
He put on a pretty good show. It was just that other people weren't as good as him. Yeah. But he was oof. He put on some spectacular dunks.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, with that, we have done everything and more that the people could have asked for. Chief, you just did a wonderful job as always. With a 3-man booth, I usually sign us out, but with a 2-man, I like to give you a second to at least say goodbye before I crunch us out of here. So tell the people something before we head away to the break.
Yeah, folks, thanks for hanging with us. We'll be back, hopefully better than ever, and putting a few more dollars in your pockets upon the return.
I like it. Don't forget, we got you covered with every single sport you could fathom that is happening while basketball is not. So stick with us here at RotoGrinders and Scores and Odds. Shout out to our sponsor, Fanduel, here for bringing the show to you for free. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. For Chief, for our wonderful production team, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crunched.